This is RJ Carbone, and you're listening to BD4.
Anthony for three. Bang! That one goes this down. One by Mattingly. Oh, hang on to the RJ Barrett does it again from downtown. He is just tearing the Orioles apart. It's good. It's good. Randall gets the bounce, and he ties the game.
Houston ducks under. Got it. With 8 tenths left.
Up and ran. Slam the other way for Aaron Judge.
Penetrates, creates, and showing some dexterity as well with the left hand.
Yankees win. The Yankees win.
6 in a row. 6 in a row. Swept the last 2 series now. Listen, I'm going to get this one out of the way so we don't have to spend 5 minutes acting like, jackasses. I understand that this is the Indians. I understand that this is the Baltimore Orioles. Okay. But I'm going to give them their credit when they deserve credit because of how much I criticize them when they're not doing well. So it'd be wrong for me to sit here and, again, crap on the Yankees when they're down, and then as soon as they get hot, just go with, oh, well, they're supposed to do that. Like, that's not I'm going to give credit where it's due. So I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, it's the Orioles, oh, it's the Indians, don't care, doesn't count, this and that. It's not impressive, but it's a positive. It's something that I can sit here and enjoy. It's okay to enjoy a 6-game win streak with 2 sweeps, despite it not being against top-notch teams. So I wanted to get that out of the way first, okay? So I get it. I understand it. But that said, good series. Great way to rebound. And it's not just 6 in a row, but it's, I think 9 of their last 10, is it? I know they won their last 3 series. So that happened. The Yankees swept the Baltimore Orioles this week, and now they will go on to play Kansas City again. Not a great team. Most likely a bottom feeder who we should be able to take on. But welcome to the show. Welcome to episode 361 of the podcast. Welcome to BD4. I'm your host, RJ Carbone. If you are new here to the show, be sure to subscribe to the podcast. You can find us on many platforms. BD4 is available to listen to on Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Anchor, Google Podcasts. You can also listen to us and watch us on Spotify, and you can watch us on YouTube. Plenty other platforms to listen to us on. If you want to follow me on social media, also be sure to download these episodes too. This way, if you download the episodes and you're on the go, you can listen to them without wasting your data. Speaking from experience here. Going over your data limit is never fun. You can also follow me on social media. I'm on Facebook at rjcarbone, r.j.carbone, and I'm on Instagram at robjcarbone. And lastly, if you want to follow any of my content where I write Knicks and Yankees content, I write on ultimatesportsnetworks.com. Go there, put into the search bar either my name, RJ Carbone, or you can put into the search bar the Bomber Bacher blog, which is the name of my blog, and be sure to subscribe using promo code 6A2841ERJC. This way you get 10% off everything. I'm trying to figure out what's going on because I'm blocked out from that website at the moment. I tried reaching out to the CEO. I don't know. So that's why I haven't been active there recently. But we'll figure it out and we'll let you know when we do. But we're going to head to our first break, and when we get back, we're going to talk Yankees. I'm on a good run right now with the betting, and I don't know if I want to start off with RJ's parlay or wait till the end. I think we'll wait till the end because I got some good things to talk about. Knock on wood, too. But it's halftime right now, and I'm watching this Utah Jazz Dallas Mavericks game. It's halftime as I speak. 53-41. Utah up. So that don't look good for the over, and I have that for this game. Right when I said I'm on a roll. So yeah. Welcome to the show, episode 361 of the podcast. Welcome to BD4, where there's no better way to get your Yankees and Knicks analysis. We also do MMA now too. Yankees every series, Knicks every game, MMA on the weekends. We'll have another MMA, probably a preview, either a preview or a recap on the upcoming UFC 274 card, which is next weekend. But as I speak, it's April 28th. It's Thursday, April 28th, 11 p.m. as I am currently recording. So once this episode is live, once I drop it, it should be Friday, April 29th. Which, speaking of betting and everything, you know, one of the picks I made when we had Dom, I think Dom came on the show before the season. One of the picks I made with him was that the Yankees would sign Brett Gardner by May 1st. So I don't know about that one. It's looking like I may miss that one, which is a good thing because I'm glad we didn't. But at the same time, it's like, you know what? Brett Gardner over Joey Gallo ain't looking too bad right now. So let's head to our first break. When we get back, we will not waste any further of your time, and we'll get right into the Yanks-Orioles sweep. Stay with us. Be right back. All right, so let's get to it. Let's talk about it. The Yankees sweep the Orioles in a 3-game set this week. They were off Monday, began the series Tuesday, finished up this afternoon on Thursday. Game 1 on Tuesday. The Yankees won 12-8. Luis Severino going up against Jordan Lyles. Bottom of the third inning, the Yankees cracked the board first where Anthony Rizzo, and we'll get to him a little later in the show, hits his first of 3 home runs on the night in the bottom of the third. 3-0 Yankees. Bottom of the fourth comes. Joey Gallo hits his first of the season. Finally gets the monkey off his back. It makes it 4-0 Yankees. Yankees push that to 6-0 in the bottom of the fifth when Rizzo goes yard again. Gets a little interesting in the top of the sixth, the next half inning, when Anthony Santander gets the 3-run bomb to cut it in half, 6-3. Top of the seventh comes, and a little more interesting when Urias gets the RBI single to score. Rougned Odor, former Yankee, makes it 6-4. Bottom of the seventh, though, Giancarlo Stanton, coming off the double-off day, gets the RBI single. Gleyber Torres, with the bases loaded, clears the bases with a triple. It's 10-4 Yankees. Top of the eighth comes, again, the Orioles not going away. Trey Mancini a base hit to score a run, and then the big blow by Austin Hayes, 3-run home run, making it 10-8. Baltimore down by 2. Bottom of the 8th comes, though, and the Yankees assure to win this game when Judge goes yard and Rizzo goes yard. They go back-to-back together. It's 12-8 Yankees. They finish it out with the win. Luis Severino started that game, and he looked really good. He looked phenomenal for a while. Now, he finished with his final line, 6+ innings, 3 hits, 4 runs, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, and 1 home run. He threw 77 pitches, 65% of them were strikes. Yeah. I'd say what, Luis looked very sharp for a while. I was going to put him as the featured starting pitcher of the series, but I didn't just because the final line, as you just heard, did not really look good. I probably should have, though, because I really liked his performance for a while. He had a perfect game going. Then my buddy Greg from Yankee Crazy Podcast, who was also on the show before this season, he texted me about that. And I'm like, dude, you're the one who mailed me a book talking about the Juju rules and how to win a game from your couch. And you're the one to ruin the perfect game after texting me? I was like, wow, that was pretty shocking. Thanks, pal. And then, not long after that, my brother Sammy goes, oh, well, at least he still got the no-hitter. Or was it no-hitter and then Sammy texts me or talks to me about the shutout? I think that's what it was. Greg ruins the no-hitter and then Sammy's like, well, at least you got the shutout working or something like that. It might have been it might have been perfect game, then no-hitter. I don't remember. But then he brings it up and that ruins when Santander or... I'm sorry, I'm used to Santander because that's what it used to be a couple years ago. When Santander gets the home run. And there you go. The shutout's gone too. And just like that, it's 4 runs against Sevy's line. So it doesn't look like he pitched very well. But he did pitch into the 7th. And that was so nice to see. The changeup looked very filthy. And it looks very good overall this season. He's got confidence in it. He's throwing it. That is a pitch he never used to throw. It was his tertiary pitch. But now it's looking good. And again, it's great to see Sevy finally have an outing where he goes 6+ innings. He pitched into the 7th. That's good. He's now 2-0 on the season with a 3.32 ERA. That's fine. If he can pitch to an ERA around there all season, I would run with that. I would take it for sure. So I really like what I saw from Severino. And, we're going to talk about the offense. I thought the offense was good. Obviously, it was good. You scored 12 runs on 13 hits. You walked twice, 9 strikeouts, 3 for 9 in scoring position, and you hit 5 home runs. Very strong performance. The 1 to 4 hitters in the lineup all had 2+ hits. Jordan Lyles was kind of due for a bad outing. He had gone 2 consecutive starts with very good performances. That's 10 in a third innings pitched in his last 2 starts heading in with just 1 run against him. So he was due for a clunker, and the Yankees gave it to him, got him out early, and then they took advantage of that bullpen. So that was pretty much game 1. We'll get to game 2 as soon as we get back from break. Stay with us. Be right back.
Hey guys. So I've noticed that only a small portion of you who watch BD4 on YouTube are actually subscribed. So if you do enjoy this podcast and maybe you want to be notified when new episodes release, I'd consider subscribing and also hitting that notification bell. This way we can help the channel grow and you won't miss a single episode of BD4. Alright, let's get back to it.
Welcome back to the show. You're listening to episode 361 of BD4. I'm your host, rjcarbone. Thank you for tuning in. Wednesday night, game 2 of the series, the middle game. The Yankees make it 5 in a row. in a 5-2 victory. You had Montgomery going up against Wells. Bottom of the first inning, Yankees score early. That's how their offense thrives. When they score early, they usually win. Stanton snaps his, I think it was a 14-game homerless streak with a home run to right center for number 350. 2-0 Yankees. Top of the 6th, we go scoreless for a little while after that. Top of the 6th comes, and it's Santander with a home run again. 2-2. Bottom of the 6th, Yankees answer back, and it's Stanton again, this time with the sac fly, scoring LeMahieu, and it's 3-2 Yankees. Bottom of the 7th, Joey Gallo again homers, his second in a row, second of the season. IKF later in the inning scores on a wild pitch from former Yankee prospect Dylan Tate. It's 5-2 Yankees, and they go on to win. I thought it was a good outing, a very strong outing from Montgomery. He goes 5.2 innings pitched, 4 hits allowed, 2 runs, no walks, 4 strikeouts, a home run, 71 pitches, and 70% were strikes. He was pulled early, honestly. You could see he was annoyed with it. He kind of puts his hands out to try and stop Boone from coming out. He was very annoyed with it. Took it to the dugout with him. I kind of like the little bit of an edge that he shows. He's always had a little bit of an edge. If you see some of his mannerisms and body language on the mound, and if you hear him talk in these post-game pressers, he's got a little flair to him, a little edge, a little intensity, and I like it. But yeah, I thought for some reason, like Jordan Montgomery, it always feels like he gets a very short leash. He's pulled a lot earlier than a lot of other guys in the rotation are for some reason. I always feel like he's limited. But he's been so solid, and this year especially, he's been really solid. I mean, I've grown on Montgomery, or he's grown on me more and more each year. He is. I've always said that he's this guy who goes out there and you kind of know what you're getting from him, right? Usually it's 5 innings, 2 runs, 6 innings, 3 runs maybe. But this year, maybe it's a little bit better. Maybe we can get a little better than that. We're getting some really productive outings from Montgomery. So I like what I'm seeing. He's limiting traffic on the bases this year. That's huge. 20 innings pitched altogether, just 14 hits and 5 walks. So that doesn't even amount to the same amount of innings pitched when you combine the walks and hits. It's got a .95 whip on the year and a 2.70 ERA. So I love what the Southpaw Montgomery is doing. The only thing that sucks when it comes to Montgomery is that he doesn't get run support, man. He got no run support all of last season. And, in game 2 of the series, sure, the Yankees, they got the 2 early runs, but that was all for him. They didn't score for him the rest of the way. As soon as he was pulled, then they finally score. But, yeah, it's a shame. It is. But, other than that, I thought he was great. Michael King continues to be near perfect, phenomenal. Clay Holmes, also very good. Filthy. Both of them amazing. King is so versatile. Goes out there and he's like filling the role of Luis Cessa, but he's actually good. He's young and promising. Where he's going out there and giving you multiple innings. And he's doing it in good spots, like in medium to high leverage spots. And Holmes, after a rough start to open up the season for himself, he finds it and he looks very good. That sinker's good. He throws hard. They both got a sinker, 2-seamer in there. So I love what they're doing. They came in and they did their jobs. And the offense, the lineup was very strong in this one. I was a little, excuse me. I was a little, what do you call it? Oh no, that was for game 3. I was gonna talk about the bottom of the order, but that was for game 3. Never mind. We'll talk about that later. This wasn't the punt lineup. The punt or the semi-punt lineup was game 3. But this one, the Yankees score 5 runs 8 hits, 2 walks, 9 strikeouts, 0 for 4 in scoring position, but they did have 2 home runs outside the 3 other hits. But a good win. And then we get to Game 3 of this series, which again was this afternoon. And the Yankees picked up the sweep, their second consecutive. The Yanks win this game 10-5. It was Jameson Taillon going up against Zimmerman. Again, like I said, it felt like a punt game. Not gonna lie. The lineup was semi-punty. The energy, the vibes kind of seemed off early. Like a day game on a Thursday. It was kind of quiet. You saw Taillon laboring early. He was in trouble. Escapes at one time, but then he lets up 2 runs in the second and third. 2-0 Orioles after that. I was worried. I saw LeCastro, Gonzalez, and Higgy 7, 8, 9. I was like, oh no. We couldn't go Miguel Andujar there. He had a righty on a lefty. He couldn't take one of those spots. But they actually end up producing. The 3 of them go 3 for 8 with a couple of walks and 2 RBIs. So they get on base in 50% of their plate appearances. 500 on base with a 7, 8, 9 in Game 3. So they actually produced. And then the Yankees woke up after the Taillon slow start, because Gonzalez doubles in the 5th. That scores a run, and then you get 3 consecutive RBI singles from your top bats. You get Rizzo an RBI, or Judge an RBI single, followed by a Rizzo RBI single, followed by a Giancarlo Stanton RBI single, and it's 4-2 Yankees just like that after 5 innings. Bottom of the 6th comes Marwin Gonzalez again with an RBI, a sac fly, 5-2. Bottom of the 7th, Yankees keep scoring. Donaldson, line drive base hit to left field. It's 6-2. And then the 8th, they score 1, 2, 3, 4 consecutive innings. A runner scores from third on a pass ball or a wild pitch. And then Judge, the very next pitch, takes it deep for a 3-run shot. It's 10-2 Yankees. Top of the 9th, Marinaccio does struggle a bit. He ends up getting optioned after the game. But the Yanks pull away with the win when Lucas Litke comes in. Taillon goes 4 2/3, 7 hits allowed, 2 runs, a walk, 4 Ks, no home runs, 83 pitches, 66% were strikes. He was whatever, not his greatest outing, but again, if that's what you're getting from Taillon when he's not on, fine with it. Miguel Castro looked good. That slider is filthy. I like him in his role right now, where we're not going to try and stretch him out. We tried that once, didn't work. And I would like to keep him in these lower leverage situations against bottom tier teams. That's fine with me. Just, he can be our Ottavino. 1 inning, modern leverage. Or not modern. What's the word? Modern leverage? Peralta was fine after that. Lasagna finally got it together. He's not been very great this year. We're giving a lot of praise to Michael King. He's kind of this year's Lasagna, breaking out. But Lasagna did look very good in this one. Looked more like himself with 1 1/3 innings pitched. Struck out 3, allowed just 1 guy to get on base. And then from there, again, Green comes in. He does fine. Marinaccio struggles, and then Litke gets the close. Offensively, the Yankees scored 10 runs on 10 hits, 4 walks, 9 strikeouts, and they were 6 for 15 in scoring position. 1 home run, but that was a tack on. So the way they scored their runs in this game was what you want to see more often. Right? They did get some help from the Orioles, making 5 errors. They're a terrible team. But, again, 10 hits, 4 walks. Got to give them credit there. So, the Yankees sweep. They sweep the O's. They do what they need to. And we're going to talk a little bit more about this series when we return from break. Stay with us. Be right back. So, if you guys want to follow me on social media, be sure to do so right now. I'm on Facebook,
at rjcarbone. And I'm also on Instagram at rjcarbone. Once again, if you want to find me on Facebook, that is rjcarbone. Instagram at robjcarbone.
Welcome back to the show. You are listening to episode 361 of BD4. Thank you for joining us. So we know the pitching has been great. We know the pitching's been great all year, so there's no real need to go over the pitching. We also know the defense has been solid all season, right? Only 4 errors on the year. Now I know, that doesn't tell the whole story anymore. You got the stats, this and that. There's a new outs above average every year, defensive run saved. There's a new there's always a new defensive metric to follow as a baseline every year. So I know we got all that. Errors don't really tell the whole story anymore. But what they do say is that we are making the routine plays defensively. And to me, that's all we were asking for, right? We always get on the Yankees for their lack of fundamentals. And really, defensively, they've been fine. They're making the right plays. I'd even go as far as to say they're a little above average this season, just judging by the eye test. And also, talking about fundamentals, they're running the bases pretty well. We've had a couple of hiccups, but they're stealing bases. They've got 11 stolen bases, which puts them into the top 10 at the moment. And Yes Network showed a stat, and I wish I screenshotted it or something, but it was a stat pretty much comparing last season's stolen bases up until All-Star break, and it was equal to the amount they have right now. It was something like that. Something like comparing, the stolen bases and, showing how much more we're taking this year. So we're running the bases well. We're playing better defense, but I really want to talk about this lineup because during this 6-game win streak, all right, not just this past series against the O's, but during this 6-game win streak, it seems to be that this lineup is finally coming along and meeting the pitching where they are. Right. First of all, the batting order, it's finally consistent. Right, 1 to 5 remains the same. Even 7, 8, 9 now, 6 to 9 now are pretty consistent. The lineup is there. It's guys are finally in some role. We're establishing some roles. Guys know where they are going to hit, who is going to be hitting in between them, or outside of them, rather. And that's huge. And I think, during the first 2 weeks or so of the season, it was more the Yankees trying to experiment, using that as an extra spring training, which I don't agree with, but that's just my estimate. Donaldson leading off, Hicks leading off, certain guys in certain other spots. But this lineup, the way they're hitting over the last 6 games is what you want to see more. Because, they have 14 home runs during that span, which leads baseball. But also leading baseball during this 6-game win streak over the last 7 days is their 300 batting average, their 930 OPS, their 46 runs scored, which is an average of 7.6 per game, and a 313 batting average with runners in scoring position. You love the fact that they're hitting the ball. They're not just slugging. Now, I don't really want to use the term indicator because I don't really think this is an indicator of anything. The way their lineup is constructed, I think they are who they are. But, as far as the regular season goes and trying to get a big lead in the division, no matter how early it is, it's good to, contact is good. Contact is never bad, all right? So I'm never going to get mad at the Yankees for hitting home runs, but I get mad at it when it's the only thing they tend to do. And in seeing them go on stretches like this, where they're finally stringing together some hits, and especially today, that one inning, like I said, 3 consecutive singles to score a run. We're bunting more this year. We're stealing bases and playing defense. It's like the fundamentals are a little bit better at the moment. So that's nice to see. Anthony Rizzo. Let's talk about him because he's one of the featured players of this series. He's been fantastic. This series, Rizzo goes 6 for 13. He has 2 singles, a double, and 3 home runs. Obviously, that was in Game 1. 7 RBIs in the series. Just 1 strikeout, which came in his final at-bat of the series, and 1 walk. He's currently 3rd in the MLB with 19 RBIs. I think he's 3rd also in OPS. It's over 1,000. He's having a good year, okay? He's having a good season. That 3 home run game was ridiculous. It was awesome. I was going nuts in the garage watching it. 2 of them were porchers, all right? And he was kind of confused on that last one. It was kind of like, oh, welcome to the Yankees. You're here, pal. These are going to happen as a lefty in this stadium. Now, let me get something out of the way. I want to talk about, when we talk about the short porch, let's get something out of the way real quick. First, I want to head to break really quickly. When we get back, I got some things to say. Stay with us.
So BD4 is on so many platforms to listen to. You can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, SoundCloud. You can listen to us on Spotify. You can find us on our sponsor, Anchor, and many other listening platforms as well, wherever you get your podcast. But we are also available to watch on YouTube. So if you want to watch us on YouTube, go subscribe there. But if you prefer to listen to us, again, many listening platforms. Just be sure to subscribe, download, give us a rating, a review, comment, share the podcast, and all that fun stuff. This is BD4, where there's no better way to get your Yankees and Knicks analysis.
All right, let's get something out of the way about the short porch. Okay. We have to understand some things here. Okay, I'm going to try to put this as short, summarize it as best as I can, because I can really go on forever. So I'll just keep it to 2 things, okay? If you're going to sit there and cry, complain, whine, whimper about the short porch, for one, it counts. It counts, okay? Period. So it does nothing to sit there and do all that. Because at the end of the day, it counts. And nobody is going to remember it when the game's over. It counts. The complaining, the crying, the whining, the whimpering is not going to remove the home run. Is not going to hand the Yankees a loss. And the thing that annoys me, it's not like Rizzo was some 10 home run singles hitter before he came to the Yankees. Look at his numbers in Chicago at Wrigley Field. He was a consistent 25 to, 33 home runs a year guy for an entire decade over there with the Cubs. So that's another thing, all right? It's one of those things. It's like it doesn't get you anywhere. Also, I don't even think I brought this up. The other team is also in the same stadium. So every time you're going to complain about the Yankees getting bailed out by the short porch, well, they have to pitch in that thing too. So if you're going to discredit them all, every hitter for hitting a home run that's 314 feet plus, then make sure you give extra credit to every pitcher in the stadium. And maybe, if we're going to play this game, when Garrett Cole gives up a home run to somebody from Boston that's in the short porch, I'll say, oh, it doesn't count. Let's see how Boston fans will take that. Or maybe the Astros fans. It's insane to me how that's a thing. It's still a thing we have to talk about. It's still a thing. It's crazy. But I want to talk about Rizzo, man, because that was an awesome game from him, and he continues to have a really, really good season so far. And his high IQ, to me, that's everything. That's everything. Yes, we talk about it all the time, how it's his ability to make consistent contact with the ball that really has me become a fan of him. Like, that's why I love him, is because he's a lefty with pop, but he's also a lefty with contact, right? And those guys are dominant in Yankee Stadium. Lefty power hitters who can make contact are perfect, and he's perfect. But it's the adjustments to me. It's the attention to detail. And I don't know if 62-56 midway through the third in this Utah-Dallas game. I don't know if I don't know if anybody else saw it, but there was some really great breakdowns. 2 separate segments by DeRozan on MLB Network and John Boy on his YouTube channel about Anthony Rizzo and his timing mechanisms and all that stuff. So check both of those clips out. You could probably go to like MLB.com and find the DeRozan segment. And obviously, again, John Boy's got his breakdowns on YouTube, where they just talk about pretty much the same things in different ways. How Rizzo is just constantly making adjustments, at-bat to at-bat, pitch by pitch, choking up, moving up in the box, adjusting on a 3-2 count, making adjustments to lefty pitchers, to righty pitchers. He's constantly doing things and tweaking things to find an advantage. So that's pretty much what DeRozan and John Boy were saying. Again, 2 separate segments, but I think it's definitely worth tuning into. But that's why I like him. That's my kind of hitter, a guy who makes adjustments, right? You hear all the time from Yankees fans and Yankees media that certain guys, like you'll hear, like, these guys are who they are. Stop getting mad at Gallo, Stanton. They aren't going to change. Well, watch guys like LeMahieu. Watch guys like Rizzo. They do change. They do change their approach. Learn something from real hitters, from actual 300 hitters. Like, it's annoying, dude. It's annoying. Like, I love watching actual hitters. I appreciate power. I appreciate the home run. But, man, guys who can hit the ball and make consistent contact and keep the lineup moving, my favorite types. And that's why I love Rizzo. Because he's got the power, but he's got the ability to put it in play and keep it going. Also, that short porch could possibly give him 30 home runs again. He's already got 8. Heading into the year, I was expecting 20, maybe 25. Now I'm thinking 25 to 30 is a very real possibility here. He's the perfect lefty guy for the stadium, man. It's like, why did we not deal for this guy sooner? I've been asking for Rizzo, like, for at least 3 or 4 years now. I have. But we went away from the whole lefty thing for a while. I'm talking about legitimate lefties. We did. But it's good to finally have one, and a good one, in Rizzo, So, yeah, he had a great series, 6 for 13, 7 RBIs. And his season stats, batting .290 on the year with an OPS of 1.098. 8 homers, 4 doubles, 19 RBIs, 9 walks at 11% walk rate, and 11 strikeouts at a 13% strikeout rate, which is awesome. Those numbers are like prime Rizzo numbers, like 27-year-old Anthony Rizzo put up those types of numbers. I don't expect him to hit .290. I don't expect him to lead the league in home runs and RBIs. But maybe my expectations were a little too tempered heading into the year. Maybe he could do a little better than, I don't know, I was asking, like I said, for like 240, 250 and 25, 20 home runs. Maybe he could do a little better than that. Maybe. He's been phenomenal so far, and I am appreciating every bit of it. And he's playing, we didn't even mention, he's playing some excellent first base defense. Even better than the defense he played at first when he first came over here last season. I also think Aaron Judge deserves to be featured as one of the players of the series here. Aaron Judge this series in 3 games was 6 for 14, 4 singles, 2 home runs, 5 RBIs, 5 strikeouts, and no walks. He's got now 10 extra base hits on the season, 5 homers and 5 doubles. He's finally looking like he's hot again. He was never having a bad year, but he kind of started off slowly, pretty quiet. But he's finally putting it together. The numbers on the season are pretty Judge-like. Batting .296, 944 OPS, 5 bombs, again 5 doubles, 10 RBIs, 8 walks at 10% walk rate, and 20 strikeouts at a 25% K rate. So he had a great series. He did drop that ball in right field today, Game 3. But other than that, glad he's looking good out there. He's looking healthy again, knock wood. And hopefully he continues this hot stretch and really goes off in a contract year, right? So Judge was good. I debated giving Stanton, a featured player. I only give it to 2 players and 1 starting pitcher. But Stanton could have very well got one because he had a great series as well. He woke up. He snapped the 14-game homerless skid with the bomb in the middle game, or was it the first game? I don't know. I think it was the first game. But yeah, he's finding holes in the infield for singles lately. He's producing runs. The home run the other night was 350 of his career. I was talking with my brother about that. We were saying how, had he not gotten hurt, and of course the COVID season in 2020 shortened the season for him, he could probably be a guy who, ends with 700 or at the very least 600 had he not dealt with so many injuries throughout his career. I would say 650 or something like that. But I still think maybe 500 is very possible. I think 500 is very possible. If he has another 35 to 40 home run season this year, maybe one more next year, and then still has, 25 to 35 for the next few after, I think that's very possible. Yeah. But he had a good series. And overall, he's got 13 RBIs and 3 home runs on the year. The home runs will come. But the RBIs, it's good to see 13. So he's just a streaky player. We know that. I used to get annoyed with it. I'm used to it now. Maybe it's just because we're winning at the moment, so the slump didn't seem as bad. DJ LeMahieu was okay this series. Nothing crazy. The hit streak did end in the middle game. But the on-base streak, I believe, is still very much alive. Excuse me. Is it 14 games? 14 or 15 in a row? Got to check. But he's doing well. He scored 6 runs this week. Walks, hits, got on base with an error. Guys after him, batting like Judge, Rizzo, Stanton behind him. Which, by the way, that is a hell of a top of the order right there for a pitcher to have to start the game off with. You're starting the game off every night with that 1, 2, 3. With DJ, Judge, and Rizzo. It's lethal. It kind of goes back to what I was just saying. Because, yes, they all have power, right? DJ's got 15 homer power. Judge has 40 homer power. Rizzo's got 30 homer power. But they're all actually hitters, too. They're all hitters. They're real hitters. And that is so difficult to pitch to when you don't have guys who just rely on the 3 true outcomes. You have guys who can actually hit. DJ, the extreme contact hitter. Rizzo, too. But Rizzo and Judge with the extreme plate discipline. Guys who are going to be patient, give you professional at-bats as well. Walk a lot. And on top of that, you got Stanton and Donaldson. So if Stanton and Donaldson can get it together, and I think Stanton will. Donaldson, I'm not asking him to be prime MVP Donaldson, but if he can become a guy who he was, last couple seasons, if they can get it going too, it's a top 1 to 5 in baseball by far, in my opinion. But that's if. It's a pretty damn good 1 to 3 though, and Donaldson's showing some signs too, maybe, right? He's hitting it hard. The line drives are there. He's still got pretty quick hands. A lot of walks lately, which usually mean you're seeing the ball well, hence the line drives that he's been hitting. He had a hit in each game of this series, an RBI, a walk. So maybe there's something in the horizon there for Donaldson. Hopefully. I'm really hoping he can get it together because, yes, it is early, but the more you struggle, the harder it is to break out of it as a 36-year-old. Gallo finally snaps out of his skid. The first home run of the series was an impressive one, which was also the first of the season for him. When you see a lefty go to left center like that, it's pretty cool. It is pretty cool. I'm not going to lie. And listen, I'm going to root for the guy, okay? But like I've been saying, I'm going to get on him if he's not going to do the job. And it was never about specifically the slump for me. It's not about this 115 slump that he's been in. Whatever it is. It's the fact that it's the type of hitter he is. Right? I'm just not a fan of those types. Like the type of hitter is what really bothers me. So even if he does work his way back up to 200 and he finishes with an 800 OPS and 35 homers, 200 strikeouts, the usual Joey Gallo type season, even if that's what he ends up with, it's still not my type. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of that. I think we have enough of that in the lineup. So I'm never going to be the biggest fan of him, whether he's slumping or hot. I'm always going to root for him, but don't expect me to be doing a complete 180 unless Joey Gallo can suddenly hit 250 and stop striking out 700 times. But again, good series. All right, but we do have to be careful because, Indians, Orioles, we got the Royals up next for 3. Also, let's ditch that narrative, please. Cone. David Cone, this series, a lot he was talking about it. Kind of hyping the Orioles to be anything more than suck. Let's be real. They suck. The Orioles suck. All right, they lost 110 games last year, was it? Let's make sure I'm right there. Like he was saying, it's like he was trying so hard to make it seem like the Yankees were doing something super impressive. Let's see. Can I not go to excuse me. Let me see if I can find it on the internet here. I'm pretty sure they lost 110 games. They were bad. Whatever. Hold on. Yeah, they did. Exactly that. So, they lost 110 games last year. Even if they don't lose 110, they're going to lose at least 90. So if they win 20 extra games, which is a lot in 1 year, they're still going to be a terrible 90-loss team. So I don't understand he was seriously, if you listen to him, he almost made me miss Beltran, and that was pretty rough. But the Orioles suck. Let's be real, Cone. Let's be real. They're not good. They are still a gimme. He was saying they're no longer a must-win series that you can just beat up and have them be your punching bag. No, they still should be that. They're still a very bad team. They made 5 errors. This is a AAA, or as people like to say, quadruple A team. They suck. And they're going to suck, and they're going to, once again, come in 5th place. So I am glad we beat the Indians. I am glad we beat the Orioles, and I hope that we can do the same thing against the Royals this weekend. So let's make it 3 sweeps. 3 sweeps would be great. I don't know. Let's focus on 7 wins in a row first. Nestor on a Friday night. Friday night Nestor coming up. Garrett Cole on Saturday, and then you've got Luis going back up on the mound on Sunday. Speaking of Sunday, is Domingo Germán just not going to play this year? Is he still hurt? Not that I care. Good series. Good series. And I think that's it. Head to break. Oh, I got a few more things I want to add. We're going to talk about some outside things. Excuse me. Let's head to our final break first. And I got a few more things to add before we wrap this up. Stay with us. Be right back. Hey guys, I hope you're enjoying this episode. But first, I also want to let you know I have another blog. The blog I'm writing for is on ultimatesportsnetworks.com, titled The Bomber Bocker Blog. If you want to go subscribe to this blog, you should do so using my promo code 6A2841ERJC. Using that, you'd get a discount $7.99 a month to get the best Knicks and Yankees opinionated content around. Once again, guys, the Bomber Bocker Blog on ultimatesportsnetworks.com using promo code 6A2841ERJC, $7.99 a month. A custom wall tapestry is a surefire way to uplift any room's aesthetics with a personal touch. This 100% polyester wall tapestry comes with hemmed edges for extra durability, while its mildew and water-resistant properties ensure years' worth of decorating bliss. The advanced tapestry printing techniques guarantee crisp detail even for the craziest of designs in any of the multiple size choices. You can select a size of 26 by 36 inches, 51 by 60, 68 by 80, and 88 by 104. These wall tapestries usually ship in 7 to 10 business days, and the price ranges from $24.99 to $69.99, all dependent on the size you select. The Bomber Bocker Blog wall tapestries come in orange, gray, and black. But most importantly, be sure when purchasing a wall tapestry for the Bomber Bocker blog that you use promo code 6A2841ERJC. 6A2841ERJC. Just go to ultimatesportsnetworks.com and click on the Shop MVP tab, searching the Bomber Bocker blog. And there you have it. So, the other night, I think it was Kyle Schwarber gets thrown out of a game, arguing a call that, of course, Angel Hernandez made. And usually when something like this happens, every time, really, when something like this happens, you always hear the conversation come up about robot umpires. I'm kind of like shocked, not really shocked, because this is the younger MLB fan base is very much for all this progressiveness. So I'm not shocked at it, but I really didn't think it'd be this. Like, I feel like I'm like in the 10% here that don't want robot umpires. I feel like I'm in the 10%. I just like it's mostly the younger MLB fans advocating for this because they grew up in this era. They never got to watch they never got to watch on TV without the implemented automatic strike zone. You know, that auto strike zone graphic that we have now. That's there every game now. It's just like that's there. What else is there? It's we analyze every strike, every ball by them. It's like we're so used to being perfect. Everything's got to be perfect. No mistakes. Has to be fast. 3 hours. Can't go longer than that, God forbid. You know, the auto strike zone. You can't heckle. You can't boo. We have the scouting reports on these umpires now on Yes Network. Every single game. We've got analytics for umpires that we have analytics for every single call they make, strike and ball. It's all so much. It's so much. Is it micro analyzing? Is that the right term? That we do. We expect them to be perfect. Human beings expecting other human beings to be perfect is where I draw the line. Like that's the problem. We can't expect that. We want everything to be 100%, no higher, no less. We have to have it perfect. Why? Why can't you leave it where it is? Why can't you let baseball, just like any other sport, be a flawed game? Why do you have to keep perfecting things just so you can make the game 100% perfect? And I put that in quotes. You don't need to be perfect every single time. In fact, that's why baseball is so beautiful, is because there are mistakes that are made. And that's a part of it. That's a part of the human element. And we want to take all this away. There's something different. We always want to add something different. I know I sound like an old man. I know I sound like a baseball purist. I don't care. I'm speaking my mind, and this is on my mind. But the younger fan, I tell you, they want everything to be just right. Maybe the game's not for you if you're like that. Maybe it's just not for you. Maybe instead of trying to change the game to fit you, you should find another game that you fit. Nothing's wrong with the pace of the game. The problem with it is the way it's played, the strikeouts. Guys not adjusting like we were saying. Glorifying the home run to a point where we have actual fans out there who believe striking out is not a problem. And who think singles are not significant at all. Who think batting average is a completely absolute statistic. Like that, there's actual fans out there who believe shit like this. It's gotten so far. We want everything to be perfect. Everything's got to do with computers and analytics, and robots got to be involved. We have to have PitchCom, which there's at least 2 malfunctions with this PitchCom shit every game. Oh man, I'm just tired with the whole thing. I get it. There are some bad umps. But I'm not gonna remove umpires because I don't get my way. It's the most Zoomer thing in the world. I don't get my way, change it to fit my needs. I'm sick of it, man. I'm also sick of the Mets. They're crying, they're bitching. Oh, we're getting hit by a pitch too much. Oh, they're such babies, man. I can't stand the Mets. They're such babies. Didn't 2 years ago the Yankees lead the league in getting hit by a pitch? You didn't see them bitching and crying and throwing a pity party, feel bad for us, we're victims. But I guess it's a very, speaking of younger generation, a very 2022 thing to do as well. Play the victim. The Arenado thing was a little much. Buddy, you didn't even that wasn't even that close to you. But still, they're crying about shit. Alonso's acting like a tough guy. Oh, my gosh. Wow, I sound old. The Nets got swept. I was so thrilled when that happened. Mr. Durant going to another super team. Wants to play with his buddies, his friends, and another superstar and take the easy way out for a second consecutive stint. The Nets were all cocky because they got these guys. Oh, we're going to win. Super team, this. You gave away your entire team. You had a young, solid, promising team going in the right direction. You gave all that away for a short window with 2 superstars who get hurt a lot and don't play a lot of games. I love it so much. Oh, I love it. I love it. Go Knicks. I actually think the Knicks have a better shot at getting there before the Nets win one. Fuck it. Let's have hot takes. That's my hot takes. My hot takes. The Knicks will win one before the Nets. The Nets are done. They're toast. Yeah, that was cool. Anyways, a little bit of a random rant there. We're going to head to our... we're going to wrap it up. We're going to wrap it up with RJ's parlay, and we'll also do the NYY-NYK-MMA question of the day. Let's get to it. All right, so in this episode, for episode 361, our NYY-NYK-MMA question of the day is, this Yankee legend won a batting crown in 2 consecutive seasons from 1939 to 1940. Who was it? This Yankee legend won a batting crown in 2 consecutive seasons from 1939 to 1940. Who was it? Let me know the answer wherever you can reach me. If you guess the answer but don't get it right, I'll let you know what the answer is in the next episode. If you do get it right, I'll give you a shout out. Let's wrap it up with RJ's parlay. Welcome to RJ's Parlay, where my degenerate self breaks down tonight's big parlay. If I miss, it's not surprising. If I hit, I'll probably lose it all tomorrow night, because that's how this works. Welcome to RJ's Parlay. Tonight's big parlay, well, one of them is still in the process. We had Philly minus 1.5 spread, that covered. Phoenix minus 2.5 spread, that covered. Philly and Toronto going for the over 209.5 points, that covered. And the one that's still going is Dallas, Utah over 10, 210.5. That might not hit. It's plus 1,200 odds. We'll see. Hold on one sec. We're starting to get choppy here. I'm trying to fix this. Fuck it. I had one earlier. I had a little two pick parlay on the Suns game. I had the Suns spread, and I had the over for that Suns Pelicans game, and both of them hit, and it was plus 270. I've been hot lately too. Like going back the last month, maybe more. I've been hitting on a lot, so it's good. It's all good. But I might lose this one. Fortunately, I didn't put too much down. But tell you what, I'm getting positive. I'm almost positive in my entire account. But thanks for tuning in, everybody. That's all we've got for this one. I'm your host, RJ Carbone, episode 361 in the books. And I'll see you in the next one. All right. Ciao. This podcast is brought to you by Anchor. It's the best way to make a podcast. Download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm.